All right, let's talk about one of the most beginner-friendly ways to actually start making money online. In this explainer, we're going to break down how you can sell digital products even if you're starting with literally 0 followers. Okay, let's get right into it. You know the feeling, right? It's probably the number one thing that stops people cold. You get a great idea, you're excited, and then that thought hits you. Who am I even gonna sell this to? I don't have a big email list, I don't have a personal brand, and my social media is, well, it's just my friends. It's such a frustrating roadblock. But what if I told you it's all based on a myth? Yeah, there is another way. A way that completely sidesteps that whole audience problem. And it all comes down to a simple 3-letter acronym that could be your ticket to getting started like tomorrow. PLR. So, what is the secret weapon? Let's unpack what PLR actually is, and more importantly, why it's pretty much the perfect solution for anyone who wants to sell a solution to a problem, not just sell themselves. Okay, so PLR stands for Private Label Rights. The easiest way to think about it is like buying a pre-built house. The foundation is solid, the walls are up, the hard work is done. But you get to come in, paint the walls your favorite color, change the furniture, and then you can sell that house as your own unique property. With PLR, you're buying a license for content that's already made, and you can legally edit it, rebrand it, and sell it for 100% of the profit. It's all yours. And we're not just talking about 1 or 2 things here. The variety is huge. You can find PLR for pretty much anything you can think of. Self-help ebooks, those super popular productivity planners you see all over Etsy, wellness workbooks, social media templates made for Canva, even entire courses and masterclasses. This means you can actually pick a product in a niche you care about. Now, it's really, really important to get this distinction. This is not the same as just grabbing some free PDF you found on a blog somewhere. There's a critical difference. Free content has super strict limitations. You absolutely cannot just turn around and sell it. But PLR, it was created from day one with commercial use in mind. It's designed for you to monetize. Okay, so the concept makes sense, but how do you actually go from an idea to a business? Let's walk through a super simple 5-step plan that'll take you from buying your first PLR product to actually making your first sale. Here it is, your roadmap. First, you buy a quality product. And a little pro tip here, quality usually means you're getting the editable source files, like a Canva link or a Word doc, not just a PDF you can't change. Then you customize it smartly. You list it on the right platform, you optimize that listing, and then you give it a little nudge to get those first sales rolling in. It's a clear, repeatable system. Let's just zoom in on step 2 for a second, because this part is so important. You don't have to rewrite the whole thing from scratch. Smart customization is all about changing the colors and fonts to fit your own style, and then adding maybe 20 to 50% of your own unique content. That could be as simple as a new intro or a bonus checklist at the end. And the best part? You can do all of this in a free tool like Canva. No fancy design skills needed, I promise. Now, this is the magic part. This is how we solve that whole no audience problem. Instead of trying to build a highway to your website from scratch, you're setting up a shop in a mall that's already packed with people. Customers are already going to Etsy looking for planners. They're already on Gumroad looking to buy ebooks and courses. You're not shouting into an empty room. You're putting your product on a digital shelf where people are already shopping. Okay, let's talk about how this turns into real money in your bank account. Because the key isn't just selling any product. It's about selling the right product in the right market. A little strategy goes a long, long way here. So what can you actually expect? You know, a really realistic goal for a lot of beginners is hitting that $500 a month mark. And that's often with just a handful of good optimized listings. Look, this isn't a get-rich-quick thing. It's a real sustainable income stream that you build with consistency. And honestly, that's a pretty amazing place to start. The secret to consistency is focusing on what we call evergreen niches. These are topics that people care about all year round. Think about it. Productivity, health and wellness, business. People are always looking for help with these things. That constant demand makes these niches perfect for creating an automated income source that works for you even when you're not. So this model is definitely beginner-friendly, but there are a few common tripwires that can really slow people down. Let's quickly go over what to avoid so you can skip the learning curve and get ahead that much faster. This is probably the number one question that comes up. You buy the PLR, it looks pretty good. Can't you just upload it right away and start selling? And the answer is a hard no. This is the single biggest mistake you can make. Just slapping up unedited PLR will cause problems. First off, marketplaces like Etsy actually have rules that require you to customize it. But just as important, your buyers are smart. They can spot generic copy-paste content from a mile away. Making those small edits is how you build trust and add real value. And here are a few other quick ones to watch out for. Please always read the license terms that come with the product. Don't fall into the trap of just trying to be the cheapest. Compete on value instead. Try to find a unique angle in a busy niche. And maybe the most important one, be patient. You're building a system, not hitting a jackpot. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You're not buying a lottery ticket and hoping for a one-time payout. You are building a system. Every product you optimize, every small improvement you make, it all adds up to a reliable, long-term asset for your business. We've covered a ton of ground: the what, the why, and the how. So what's the single most important thing you can do right now? Well, it's a lot simpler than you might think. Here's the bottom line. All those old barriers to entry, they're gone. You don't need a huge following. You don't need to be a professional designer. You don't need a bunch of expensive software. All you really need is the willingness to just start, even if it's with one small product on one single platform. And that brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Instead of asking yourself, what can I sell? I want you to start thinking about this. What is the very first problem you are going to solve for someone else? Because when you really focus on that, everything else just kind of falls into place.